It's lit.
All right, we're recording. All right.
Mental Health Monday.
What up? It's the Chase and
Okay.
Shep show. Mental Health Monday. First official episode of season 3.
Season 3. Hell yeah.
Season 3. And we brought with us a little bit of change for season 3, as you can see below us here. We got old Jon McEwen with us, aka Nightmare. For those of you that stick around this here YouTube page, you've probably seen him raising hell before over on PCP.
Yeah.
Or on
Also
his
known as
birthday
Santa
or
Claus.
what have you. But today it's Mental Health Monday. We're getting our minds right like we always do. We figured our first guest should be you.
Hey man, I'm happy to be back.
So talk to us. Talk us through this. You're the one with the PhD, or at least you're working on a PhD. So help us, fix us
Fix
on
it?
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, usually when I smile at people for an extended period of time, that does a trick. But no PhD yet. I do have the master's in the science of psychology, and I've been working in the mental health field for it's March, getting close to April, so about like close to 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, seen a lot. So if you want me to fix you, that's an extensive thing I'd have to do.
It's a process. Yeah.
It is, yeah, it is. It really is.
So, speaking of process, you've been doing your own podcast for what, about a year, right?
Actually, March 5 days will be a year. Yeah.
I was
Nice.
gonna say you're closing in on a year,
Nice.
and you've been putting episodes out like every single day, right? Just about.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I actually have to record 3 today. They're usually pretty short. I like to do from 5 to 7 minutes, but sometimes we go to 15. Depending upon what we're talking about, it'll be upwards of 20. I think I had 1 or 2 that was like 30. So, but they're relatively short.
Yeah, and that's called Hard Life Insights.
Hard Life
Yeah.
Insights.
You can find
Yeah.
that over on Spotify, I'm sure,
Yeah.
amongst other places.
Mhm.
But,
Any podcasting platform.
So, Shep, you got any questions for this man?
I mean, shit, you kind of put me on the spot there. I wasn't thinking question on it at the moment. I was just sitting back listening here. So what are some of the topics you cover up on your podcast though?
Well, I mean, it kind of shifted for a while. It was for a while I had to do a lot with like pain. So I started the podcast because it's not true, but I felt like I just didn't have anybody to talk to.
Word.
I had some relational issues going on at the time. I was in a bad relationship, and also at the time I embraced my toxicity and had a side relationship. It's a lot more to it, and actually in the podcast I detail that thoroughly because that doesn't really speak to who I am. Like, I don't like cheating. I really don't support it. I think if you're gonna be with a woman, you should be with her. But it's so much to it. I ended up documenting it in the podcast at some point. Yeah. So, but I broke up with the long-term relationship girl, and this girl, I thought she was like the most beautiful person ever, and we ended up not working out. And I was really down about that because I thought that was it. And I don't want to bore everybody just by talking continuously about it. So I just started talking to myself and anybody who would listen, and it just caught on.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we talk about everything though, like everything you could possibly think of.
I mean, you'd have to with a daily podcast.
Yeah. I usually take inspiration from, and life gives me a lot of inspiration. So something will happen at the job that just inspires me, and I'll make a short episode. And really, honestly, we're not going to live long enough to make all the mistakes ourselves. So just think about anything that you did that didn't turn out the way you really would want it to. And you just share it with people and just, hey, you more than likely been in this situation. I know how you feel. Here's how you probably should go about it. And I just want to share that with people to keep them from regret.
I feel that. That's kind of what we do with Mental Health Monday. Usually, when Mondays roll around, it's just like we just brainstorm on a topic that we are dealing with currently. It's like, well, fuck, let's talk about that shit.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, I like that.
All about the sharing, man. You got to get it out there.
Yeah.
You got to start the dialogue, make people feel more comfortable about talking about these sort of things.
Yeah, for sure.
You have a little bit of a different approach than say other people we've had on the show.
Yeah.
Putting the hard and hard life insight. You kind of, I think it's fair to say you take the tough love approach just a little bit.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, be honest. So one of the greatest things that I learned was that we all know how to be successful. So, if you want to lose weight, it's not only calories in, calories out, but what you eat, macronutrients, micronutrients, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to it, but we all know fundamentally what you should do. And I think I just finally got on my own case about myself. So I've been hard with myself, you know what I mean? And really putting, like you said, putting yourself out there. And when you just say it how it is, like brutal honesty. It's called brutal honesty. And I think that's the wildest thing ever, because why should honesty hurt? It shouldn't lying hurt, you know what I mean? So I just put myself out there for everybody to see. I want everybody to see what I've been through and how you can kind of see the other side. So yeah, I just say it how it is, because really that's all it is anyway.
Yeah. I've always appreciated that about you and your approach.
I love you too. Yeah, it seems to be the best way. And I think, honestly, everybody else kind of likes that too, for some reason.
Well, I've definitely learned personally, just, in the past few weeks, that kind of what you said, lying should hurt. Telling the truth shouldn't hurt, lying should hurt. But I've noticed more and more lately, like that the default, it seems, is to maybe not so much be dishonest, but to, the default, people don't like to confront things, Something I've said a few times recently is, when people say they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, well, do you not want to hurt that person's feelings, or do you not want to deal with that person after you've hurt their feelings? Because, that's two very significantly different things. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that person once the feelings have been hurt. They don't want to deal with the part of the confrontation where they have to be a part of it. And they'd rather just kind of just say, hey, whatever, I'll let this pass. But I definitely find more times than not lately that, approaching situations like that usually leads to situations not being taken care of. You're going to end up finding yourself stuck in a loop. So sometimes that brutal honesty, that straightforward approach is the best way. Well,
thankfully I had mentors. I would just find people that I resonated with, and I'm really, really fortunate to have them, because I would not be where I am without them, plain and simple. And so, man, like I was saying, once I got on my own case, there was a quote that my mentor taught me, and it's, when you know yourself, you truly know everybody else. And honestly, we all struggle with love. We all struggle with how we feel about ourselves. Me and Aaron, musicians, so I think really good. But, at some point in the developing process, we doubt ourselves. So, and maybe even still, just because we're our own worst critics. But in you as a director and creator as well, there's so much that we all just struggle with. If I just say it and people view me a certain way, they might think, man, Jonathan's really handsome, or Jonathan's really this or really that. And I may not feel that about myself. But if you have felt like that about yourself at one point, and we both agree that that's how we feel, just say it, because we usually talk in circles, trying to play the nice Olympics. Yeah. And not that I want to be hurtful, but where do we get ultimately?
Right.
So fuck it. I just go ahead and say it how it is. And but people respect that too, and people love that, because that's it's going to cause an uncomfortability, which causes growth. That's what they want.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. I always appreciate honesty in any form of fashion it comes from people. Like you were saying about being like a musician, like one of the biggest qualms I have is when you show like one of your homies one of your tracks and they're like, hell yeah, that's so dope and stuff. And it's like, don't just say that because we're friends and we go back. Like if this shit sucks, let me know this shit sucks so I don't put that shit out there. Like I'm totally cool with that. And I am one of the biggest criticizers of my own self. It happens. I like it though, because I always use that as just a platform to build myself and to better, because you know we can all keep leveling up, in my opinion. Yeah, there ain't no stopping that train.
Yeah, Chase was just telling me about something that you I don't know if you just showed him or if you put something out in the past week, and he was talking you up. So whatever you're doing is working.
Oh yeah, man. Like, you know, it's all about adapting and trying new things. Like even me and him here with the Chase and Shep show, like that's we're just constantly doing that, man. And it's just been flowing so well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I love what you all are doing. And Chase, you know, I support anything you do.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, you're talking about mentors and stuff earlier. And I mean, I think it's fair to say that you've more or less been one of mine, you know, over the past, you know, we've known each other since 2012. You know, so it's been a minute, and in that time, you know, I've watched you grow plenty, you know, and that's shit. When I first met you, you were already fucking stacked and fucking, you know, having these parties and shit. I was just the new kid on the block, you know. So obviously there was that quality of, you know, of looking up to you to begin with. But as that friendship went on, seeing how wise you are and how driven you are, that shit, it's contagious, you know. So there's been plenty of times, especially over these past few years, of me being back and us doing a lot of work together, where there's, you know, I go back to plenty of shit that you dropped on me, plenty of little, you know, snippets of knowledge that you've dropped my way that have gotten me through plenty of stuff. So I mean, I think it's great that you're out there, you know, hitting that podcast every single day. So.
Well, dude, the fact that, all jokes aside, me and you both may need to be evaluated, because if like dude, so there's so many times I post this because me and you have, and then I watched the Christmas episode that we all did.
Right.
I'm just like, man, like I gotta be annoying sometimes. I gotta be like, but I really do try to show how much depth I have, because have you ever looked at somebody and just, they're super gangster all the time, and I'm like, dude, that's not a fun way to be. I've been involved in stuff like that, and that's not who I am. So like my music, it changes so much from, you remember what me and Kenny did, and it was a really smooth album for the most, terribly, you know, the production was terrible. It was smoother, it wasn't so true. I just wanted to show that I have depth in me. So, you know, I needed those mentors because I had it in me, I just didn't know how to access that. So I'm happy that I'm able to influence you in any positive way, man.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about. I like to think that I've done the same for you. You know, maybe not quite on the same level. I mean, comparatively, I don't do shit compared to your daily routine. Fucking Mr. Boxer, podcaster, getting your PhD, father,
really blew me off.
Man. That list goes on and on. Your business card's it's thick.
Mm-hmm.
A few pages long.
Yeah, I just want to, man, see it all, do it all, feel it all. I just want to, man, you know, it's just so much to do, man. I want to be great. I don't know when it's going to happen. I mean, somebody told me the other day, because like the Masters is cool and all, but like, they were like, dude, you already made it. And I sat there and I thought about that like the rest of the night. I was just walking around or driving somewhere. I remember thinking about like, did I miss because don't you know, like success, I mean, I'm not like rich or anything,
right?
But I've been doing shit for years, and like, is this what success feels like? Is it supposed to be like, I don't know. I thought it would just be different.
Right.
I don't know.
I hear you. Everybody's got their own personal level of success as well.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, like for sure. I definitely just, man, you know, I'm just happy I can do stuff like this with y'all. I'm happy that, like, because people see that, and then I get to get me out there. That makes me feel fulfilled. Talking about mental health, fulfillment in life is a huge part of it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was saying. I mean, it's a very contagious thing. You know, when people see that, that drive in you and that motivation that you have, it bleeds over, into other people. You come around sometimes and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna join the gym, I'm gonna become a boxer myself, I'm a fucking,
come on home,
have 5 ladies on each arm and a doctorate. Fuck it,
Yeah.
And nothing.
New Year's goal. That's a New Year's goal.
Yeah.
You have been in the gym though, haven't you?
Sure.
I've seen you show your body. You took your shirt off in front of it.
Oh, that's right.
No, I'll be serious. Yeah.
No, I've been hitting the old floor right here. Some push-ups, some sit-ups. I'm trying. My year of physical health is going slow, but it is going. So at least I can't beat myself up too much about it. But I think the number one thing that always stuck with me that you said to me was the thing about the level up. And I always kind of, I know that was something that was kind of passed along to you from one of your mentors, but when you kind of relayed that back to me about the idea of the level up and everything, that stuck with me a lot. And I'm constantly, trying to achieve just that, my level ups in life. And definitely I feel like right now with the physical health stuff, I'm working on that level up. I can feel it. It's a bitch right now, It ain't going, I ain't fucking ripped. I ain't, eating fruits and veggies every single day like I'd like to be, but hey, slow and steady, man. Slow and steady.
I'm hungover and I just had a fat burger. It's okay.
I know you were like, I'm hungover as fuck today. And you're like, but I just left the woods and you did this and you did that. I'm not even hungover and I've been asleep all day, man. Like,
right.
It's one of those days. It definitely is like a Sunday,
honestly, it really does feel like one of those days. It was just slow and kind of gloomy. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to just stay right here.
It was the
I don't do that often.
Oh, yeah. Dude, but honestly, what you said about the floor. So last year when I started doing the podcast, the virus closed all the gyms. They didn't really understand it. They didn't affect people to a certain degree. And so the gyms were closed. So, dude, all I had was that floor. And at this time, I think, what was it? March 19th, I started the podcast. But I was going through that thing for like a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month before I started to feel like myself again. And one of those things I had to do was just make it through the day. Talk about just making it through the day. So I know everybody's probably had some level of heartbreak in their life, but this was big for me. And so talking about the level up, dude, just no matter how far away a destination is, as long as one foot goes in front of the other, no matter what the distance you cover throughout that day, you'll eventually get there. And so like with the hitting the floor, dude, I said it, man, I need that pain that you feel. I would just sit there and think about it through my exercise. My mentor passes down to me. And I would just think about everything. Every single morning I do this. And I think about whatever it is. If something's making me anxious, if something is making me sad or upset, I think about it as I'm working out. And even if it's just 100 push-ups, I'll just do 100 push-ups straight, then do some shadow boxing, go into burpees or whatever. But I'll think about that. And once I'm locked into this positive mindset, I try to solve my issues that way. And that's where that level up usually occurs. So anytime throughout the day when you start to feel like something's pissing me off, which happens to me every day, or something's making you sad or whatever, how we achieve that mindset and approach those issues is our level up. And life has gotten significantly better over the past year. And I dedicated to my mentors and my process, dude. Like that floor is all I needed at one point, all day, every day. That's all I had. And I started to have physical change through that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's dope.
I do something you said earlier about the whole, somebody just trying to be the heaven depth thing. Because I've also been there where you find yourself in a box and you're like, no, I'm more than just this one thing, because for a while there I was the funny guy, and I remember a point in my life where I felt like I just couldn't be serious. Like I couldn't talk to people about serious stuff because I was the funny guy. You know what I mean? And I think Shep, I think you and I actually had a conversation on this before.
Yeah.
Shep, you're gorgeous,
you
by
had
the way.
something similar.
Oh yeah.
Where it's just
hey,
like,
thanks,
you know,
man.
you just get to, you know, people are like, yeah, you're Mr. Positive, you're Mr. Funny, you're Mr. This, you're Mr. That, and it's just like, well, sure, but not all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's good to show that depth for sure.
Dude, I feel you, man. I feel you, and that shit is not cool. Cause like now I have that moniker of I'm always motivated, positive, and dude, I'm not always like I'm a person. I'm a human being,
Right?
But like being funny and shit, or just being super in your face with the music. Sometimes like I feel like you have to be framed into this person and be that all the time. And I'm like, man, I wish you could have seen me when I started the podcast, Chase. Because I was sad, dude. I was depressed, like for a good 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Getting out of bed was hard. I remember like I just wanted to sleep all day so I didn't have to deal with anything. And I used that as a level up. So I've not benefited from it, but I didn't want to.
Right.
And I wanted to show people that side, to show them a full person. I don't know.
Yeah. I've always been about showing every side of you. I feel like since our working together has kind of started. Because like, yeah, just because like every single time we've done a video, we'll do a video and then I get notes from you being like, man, why'd you leave all this, that, and the other in here? Because it makes me look stupid. And it's just like, nah, man, that's just who you are. You're being yourself right there. And it's like, you just want to act hard the whole fucking video. Like, don't fucking, there's more to you than that, and I've always been that way. The same with just explaining somebody. Like you to somebody, and just by showing them your Facebook page back in the day, being like, here's your first taste of John, but then being like, but look, there's so many other, you got to know the guy, if this is all you ever see, you're gonna think he's sadistic, and he might be, but like, that's only if you strip it all away, but yeah, definitely. Many sides to you, to me, to Shep, to a lot of people. It's important to show that depth.
Yeah, that's why I was really interested in like, I'm not gonna put but the short films. It was like I feel like it was last year, do a short film last year that I paid for, and because I wanted to act and do some more. I'm trying to think of like, I wanted to do something with a lot of scenery, a lot of photography, a lot of like. Really good texture to the film, just so I could show a little bit more, because like I love a good drama, and I wanted to act and just show like what I can do. But I kind of, like you said, man, I just felt like I'm a rapper, and not even just a musician or a hip hop artist, a rapper, and that's not good for your mental health either, because you're just repressing all this depth that you have. Like who was it good, like Nick Cannon I feel like it's a bad rap when he do, and it's really dope when I can see guys like him who are super rich actually be a person. Like, it's so cool to be negative, and it just consumes your soul, and I'm like, why is this cool to everybody now? And it just really shows you the shape of society.
I agree with that hardcore.
Yeah I'm gonna start getting into mental health now. It's Mental Health Mondays, so let's talk about it. What you want to talk about?
Shep,
what's up, man?
It's your turn. Throw something his way.
For mental health, man. Shit. I mean, we're sitting here. We're covering a lot of shit. We're covering getting out of bed. Like we've all been there. I've been there plenty of times, man. A lot of that with my music was, the same shit. You know what I mean? Like that's why I turned a positive spin on my shit, to show people like, hey, we're all here. We all go through this. We all have our down times. We all have our ups too, and we need them both, to balance each other. Perfectly balanced, as Thanos would say.
Yeah.
But it is hard though. Like when we were talking on this, it is hard when you start being like that, and then that's the side that a lot of people see all the time, because we don't like to show the negative moments to everyone. That's the people we're close with and we can be vulnerable with. So you fall into that mold, and you might have a time, I've had plenty of times, especially a year ago, when everything shut the hell down, where I felt like it was just me. I didn't really have that, anybody to holler at or kick it with or anything like that. So it was some crazy shit.
Did John freeze up on us? It looks like he froze.
I think he might have.
Or he just fell asleep on you. That's crazy.
I think he froze up.
Damn.
Wait, can everybody see me now?
There he is. There he is.
You got me, Chase? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did everybody shut down, or was that just me?
That was just you.
Sorry, I got the bank here Wi-Fi. I haven't bought my own. Anyway, you were saying, Aaron?
Oh shit! I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I said. I was pretty much finishing up, I think, when you froze up. But it's just, I think it was just about, being in that box. A year ago when everything shut down, I was that positive guy. A lot of people saw me as funny, positive, and so I had that moment with everything closed where it was just me, and it felt like, when I had a day I was at work, my homies, they was going off and
oh, did we all get that?
Yeah.
Yes, we all got that upgrade. It has been upgraded. But it seemed like when I was at work and shit, all my homies was like going over to Indiana and stuff to go out to eat and whatnot, and I would be like, damn, like y'all couldn't wait until I was off work. Like I'm fucking go crazy over here too. And then like, this chick I was talking with, her and her buddy was going out and doing shit all the time, and it was just like I felt like ain't nobody was around, and it was just me, and I was just working, coming home, working, coming home, working, coming home, and it was like everybody else was off work and all this shit, and it all built up really quick. And like over I'd say March and April and into May last year, it's kind of like you lose your mind there for a little bit, didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about, what is it, I can't think of the term, but they were talking about going like stir crazy.
Cabin fever.
Cabin fever, yeah. A lot of people were having that. My roommate at the time.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
it. He had my roommate was like he's been off since COVID started, since like before COVID. So he's had a good year to fuck he wants, and he make more money than he made. So honestly, I got the better end than a lot of other people, because with that whole situation that happened that started the podcast, I ended up moving out of my old spot and moving in with my best friends. And so we spent the whole thing getting closer. Like we went to the Homer Lake all the time. We barbecued and played badminton. We partied. We didn't have people over a lot, but we just us three, maybe one or two other people, depending upon if they had tests or whatever. And we use that to grow. I use that a lot for internal growth. And I remember at one point throughout the summer, I said, fuck everything else I was doing, and like really ended up having to focus on myself. And when I did that, I stopped. I didn't drink. I just, I didn't smoke. I really don't smoke as it is. Actually, I haven't smoked in 3 years. So, I mean, I just didn't drink. I didn't do anything for like a good month maybe. And it was a good reset. I did take mushrooms though, but that helped. And I just went within. So I got lucky. I felt like all that happened for me. Now I know that hundreds of thousands of people, have some epiphany, but I utilized that, and I felt like I needed that quiet time, because most of my life I've been trying to get not validation necessarily, but I didn't grow up with family. So speaking about the whole mental health issues, I had abandonment issues. And I've always kind of gravitated towards people. So like Chase, me and him work together. But if he went to another job, I'd be like, damn, I would take it harder and be like, man, you're trying to leave me. Like, what the hell? And essentially I just took it a little bit harder than people normally would, because I can just go see him, but I didn't think about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really utilized this time to be, what is positive mental health anyway? And I was like, man, I didn't realize I'm anxious a lot. I didn't realize how a lot of my go is anxiety. And I realized that these are mindsets that we live in. So one thing that's interesting is, so anxiety is a glucose response that causes a fight or flight reaction within the body. And of course, it's the perception of fear. So it's a notification to get us to get out of danger. But when it's perceived danger, it's like, okay, well, this chair that's sitting right here, it shouldn't make me anxious, but like my and threw it at me. So now I look at chairs and I got anxiety. You know what I mean? And I realized how I was putting myself in boxing to mind states, outlook of yourself, situation, and future. And same thing with the perception of what I'm fearful of. And I decided to jump in what's causing anxiety and what's causing depression and see it head on, because we don't have to live there. We don't. And seeing it and working in the field, why would anybody want to? And so once I figured out that I can use all this solitude from the virus to build who I want to be, it was game on from that point. I was like, yeah, I can create my own happiness. Like, what do you mean? And I just been doing that every day. And that's another reason why I do the podcast every day, because I think everybody should live that way. Everybody should.
Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of like the same shit that happened with us over on our end. It took a little bit longer, but towards the end of the year, that's when that shit happened. Because, a lot of what I struggled with at that same time too was seeing a lot of the people that I, fucked with music. They had jobs where they were off work, because a lot of them was in the restaurant industries and shit like that. Yeah. And it all shut down. And so they had a lot of time to start pumping out a lot of music, a lot of new shit, and they were being so creative and shit. And I was just in this funk.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And then, I took most of last year spending it working on myself. And then towards the end of it, that's when it was just like this huge spark of creativity. Chase, he had a bunch of free time and was going through it. And on his, we were both like met on our ups, and it was just like, here, let's just start this shit. Let's do our own thing. Let's be happy doing our shit. And fuck, if nobody else even listens to it, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the motivation and the vibe we went at it. Is like, we're just doing.
And we still have that vibe.
yeah.
We're still here, however many times a week doing these shows, whether it's just us in here or not.
Yeah. No, that's what's up.
It's still pretty much for us.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like what y'all are doing. And I was going to respond to what Aaron was saying. So I had not made any new music since like last July. Like none. So that whole process kind of took up that time. But me and Grant are actually supposed to remake a song that we did 4 years ago or something like that.
Nice.
Because it was like it's a favorite. What Barbarian
Life Code.
Yeah, and I just haven't went over there yet. Huh?
Said big fan.
That's your favorite too?
I do dig that one.
Oh well, I mean, y'all sound is like crispy, so I'm really digging that. But I definitely need to be around y'all more, man, because like that creativity. I've been alone so much sometimes. Yeah. And, you draw creativity from other people.
Oh so. Yeah.
Well, I to that every single time you and I have got together to do projects, like as always. I remember when you and I started working on Nightmare and Pookie stuff, and man, I rode that wave like so much, like all that creativity I was feeling, just being around you guys, being in that sort of atmosphere again. It'd been so long that being in the studio with you guys and constantly being around that creation and everything. I mean, that I ended up turning around and making my first short film after that, like I took that, and that's when we filmed the Distinct Lack of Holiday Cheer. It didn't release until last year, but that's when we filmed it, was that year. And I took a lot of that creativity I was feeling from being in the studio with you guys, and it helps, like when you're around passionate people. Again, it's just one of those things that it rubs off, people. It's real recognizing real, you know what I mean? Like when you see something that is genuine, you're going to react to it, you're going to be drawn to it. And that's what I keep saying in regards to, everybody's music and stuff, if you keep it genuine and you keep the music good, people are going to notice that. People are going to see that passion. People are going to see that genuine side of you, and they're going to be more interested in getting to know you even more.
Do not listen to any of that old music by Aaron. Please don't listen to that. It sounds. It's.
I think I got a copy of Nightmare and Pookie like right over here, right off camera.
Hey, but you know what, man? Beach Day. Me and Alex made Beach Day. That is one of my favorite ones. But we did a 30-day. So we did a 30-day challenge. So I had to teach my homie Alex how to rap, basically, and we just went inside the studio, the Shade Light Studios. and we had I don't know if it's called anything else now, but when it was it Ross? Is that his name?
Yeah, Ross.
Yeah, we would just go to his place after work, like at 11 o'clock every day, and I would be over there till like 1:30, 2:30 in the morning. And we no matter if it was good, if it was bad, if it was done or not, we would just record something every day. And I love the creative aspect, but it was awful. Oh my God, please burn that.
20 crispy tracks.
I hate you.
From the recordings of 2017 to 2018, Nightmare and Pookie, the NPLP, that I worked tirelessly on, and then you probably went and threw away hundreds of discs I gave you.
Burned, you mean, in a volcano?
Or they're just sitting in your closet now.
There's some, I don't. They might actually be in my ex's house.
Fuck it, there you go.
Yeah, she can torture herself with that. Yeah.
You see, but this is a prime example of you being hard on yourself, because you're improving. You're improving every time. You're getting better, but this wasn't too bad. And whoever curated this album really has an ear for music, I gotta say.
I think it's this guy named Chase. No, I'm glad you were there for that, dude. That was definitely Beebs in the Trap. I think was my first music video. Was that it?
Yeah.
And I remember I said one of my favorite bars in that, and it was freezing cold outside. But in going with your mental health, man, we really did that. And even though it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, or we didn't shine like we wanted. Those are like building blocks for
exactly.
life.
Again, it's something where you can see the passion there. Like that day would not have happened if all three of us weren't feeling that level of passion to get it done. You know?
Literally did all the work. You did everything. I
had to feed off of that passion that you two had.
I showed up late and I was drunk. So
I had to feed off that passion that Pookie had.
Yeah. He had a lot. He had a lot of passion. He would be in the studio 8 hours and then stay in there while, people can say shit about him. He was really hard on himself when it came to his bars and whatnot, which he had bars.
He did. He was also improving. And that's why I have a big thing against deleting shit off of YouTube, like from the past. Because, if we keep going, we have a visual record right here of how we got better at this. Just yesterday, I believe, Shep turned on an episode of 25 Slays by accident, and we were both just like aghast. We were just like, what the fuck? Like we've come so far in just a few months.
Yeah, for real. Even just being comfortable with ourselves, like just talking in a room with nobody really essentially fucking here. At first it was a little awkward. Now it's like, fuck, I don't care, whatever. Let's go live.
It's so cool, man. We're all doing some really cool stuff, and how could it not take off?
Right. Only getting better.
That's right.
Only getting better.
Right, that's right.
But, well, man, we appreciate having you here. It's always a pleasure.
I love it. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all check out the everybody's already watching your. So how am I gonna plug you on your own shit?
You're gonna plug us? You're gonna plug.
No,
hey, everybody, make sure to watch
the
Chase and Shep show. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays.
It's lit. Now, you can find me on Facebook, Snapchat. I am GodBitch25. The Real John Wolf on Instagram. Jonathan McEwen on Facebook. Also, Hard Life Insight. Check out the podcast, baby. Come mess with me.
Check it out. Get that daily dose of motivation.
Hell yeah.
From your
That's
boy
right.
Here.
That's right.
But,
and they'll probably invite me over soon to do something, and I'll be drinking Kahlua in a Santa Claus outfit.
it's about that time. Christmas in July.
The 25 sleighs are about around the corner.
Happy half Christmas.
There we go. Happy half Christmas from Black Santa.
That's right. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do.
Appreciate you, man.
It's all love, man.
Love you, man.
Yes, sir.
Chase and Shep Show, Mental Health Monday. Peace.
He dipped out quick. He's out. He quit.